Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, this is it, guys. Morphin May has now come to a close. It's time to talk about the final season of Power Rangers as of this writing. As of May 26th, 2023. Power Rangers Dino Fury. This season's fantastic. I'm just going to say it right now. It is leagues better than Beast Morphers in every single way. And it's probably up there as one of my best seasons of the entire franchise. We'll find out for sure later today when we do a tier list ranking of all the seasons together. Except for Mighty Morphin, which will just count as one entry. So, Dino Fury. I was at first not the biggest fan of this, because when it was first announced, I'm like, really? We're doing another Dino season? Really? We already had Mighty Morphin, we already had Dino Thunder, and we just had Dino Charge. Like, why are we doing this again? And it took me a while to actually watch it, because I was busy doing so much other stuff, and at this point I've kind of fallen out of habit, to say the least, when keeping up with this show. But I just finished watching, well, I watched it for the first time in its entirety last year, and then I rewatched the most important episodes, 5 to 10 per season, on Netflix. And, yeah, this season's fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why. So, let's not waste any more time, jump right into the analytics. Yeah. So, first up we have our main Rangers, which, if I may say, is probably one of the most likable main Ranger casts we've had in a while. First up is Zato, the Red Ranger, who's also an alien, played by Russell Curry. I like Zato. He has that fish-out-of-water humor, but it's not to the point of obnoxious, and he is a great leader. So, yeah, Zato's cool. Then we have Ollie, played by Kai Moya, the Blue Ranger. He's okay. I'd probably put him on the same level as the magician guy from Ninja Steel. Then there's Amelia, the Pink Ranger, played by Hunter Dino. I like her. I really like Amelia. I think she's a really good character. Then we have what's probably going to be my most controversial statement in this whole video. My personal favorite Green Ranger. Yes, even over Tommy. Tommy is the best one, but this one's my favorite. Izzy, the first ever female Green Ranger, played by Tessa Rao, and she is the best character in this entire show. That's not a crossover character from another season. Like, seriously, I really like Izzy. I like her personality. I like her design. I like her, well, the Ranger suit design specifically. And no, I'm not gonna be a man-child and complain about the skirt ripping scene. Like, I'm not gonna complain about that. No, that's petty and dumb to complain about. It's different. And the biggest reason why I like her, she's the first ever non-binary Power Ranger. She's an LGBTQ. She has a girlfriend in the series that's actually featured pretty prominently. And the relationship isn't forced or doesn't feel like it's actually natural. It flows great, they have great chemistry, and it is a legit relationship. And I know it's going to make some man-childs freaking mad, like, no, not Power Rangers, going woke. This is awful. 0 out of 10. No. I'm not a man-child. I personally really like Izzy, and I like that they had the balls to actually do a non-binary Power Ranger. And after over 30 friggin' years, like, it's about time. So yeah, Izzy's cool. I like her personality. I like her relationship, and for the first female Ranger, well, first female Green Ranger, and the first non-binary Power Ranger, she's great, and she's going to be a great role model for the LGBTQ community, because she is she's an awesome character. I really like Izzy. I do not care if that angers some man-children on the internet. I really like Izzy. I think she's a strong, well-developed character. Then we have her brother, I think. Yeah, her brother, or cousin, whichever one it is. Javi, the Black Ranger, played by Chance Perez. He's not as cool as Izzy, but he's alright. I'd probably put him on the same level as Chase from Dino Charge. He's cool, but you don't really remember him that well. And then we have, I'm gonna hopefully pronounce this right, Aeon, the Gold Ranger, played by Jordan Fite, or is it Fit? I don't know. He's also just okay, and minor spoiler alert, I do think it's a little bit strange that they did the whole Gold Rangers connected to Red Ranger thing again, like they did in Super Ninja Steel. That's a bit annoying. But it's not obnoxious. Like, the connection is he's also an alien. That's fine. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's the first ever African-American Gold Ranger as well, so yeah, this show is setting a few precedents. Then we have our supporting cast, which is actually pretty huge, so I'm just going to fly through these without much explanation, aside from two that need to be talked about. So, for our supporting cast, we have Solon, voiced by Josephine Davison. I like Solon. It's an ancient dino creature, a lot like Keeper, and while she's not as cool as Keeper, she's still a very good mentor figure. Like, she's a good mentor character in the series, and her interactions with the other Rangers do feel genuine. Like, it doesn't feel forced, or it's not, like Gosei trying to sound deep and epic, when in reality I'm doing nothing. So yeah, I like Solon. I like her design, and I really like her interactions with the Rangers. And then Mick comes back, yes, from Super Ninja Steel, even though there's no actual Ranger crossovers in this season, which I know I've complained about in the past, but this one has a good excuse. This was made during COVID-19. This was made during the pandemic, literally made in 2020 and 2021. I'm willing to give it a bit of a pass for that because, well, COVID really kept a lot of things from being able to happen, so I can't really be that mad at this show for not having a crossover season. More than likely, they're going to fix that in Cosmic Fury, but we'll see. But yeah, Mick is back again, and he's just as awesome as always. Then we have Lonnie, played by Siobhan Ruakire. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And then returning from Beast Morphers is General Shaw, played by Tulia Blakely again. Even though it's more of a cameo in one episode, but you know what? It's a crossover character. It's viable enough to actually count. Then we have Ed Pop Jones, played by Greg Johnson, and he's just the sweetest guy. Like, seriously, he's just, every time he's on screen, he's one of those characters that just makes you smile. Whether it's his interactions with his granddaughter, Amelia, or just him trying to help out around the city, like, he's such a hand-gentle, nice character. Seriously, Pop Jones is awesome. I really like him, especially the way he ties into the story later on. Then we have Aurea, played by Brooke Peterson. She's fine. And then we have the comedic relief characters of the season, Jane and Jayborg, played by Kira Josephine and Victoria Abbott. Now, I have complained in the past videos about them trying to remake Bulk and Skull and failing miserably. But here with Jane and Jayborg, they didn't try to go Bulk and Skull. They tried to do something more unique and interesting by having these characters have such a big personality. Like, Jane is pretty much off-the-wall Sam Raimi Spider-Man level goofy, and then Jayborg, who's literally an android, is just trying to figure out how humanity works pretty much. And she's doing pretty much whatever Jane asks her to do. around the office, and it's just hilarious. Like, it's that kind of comedy that doesn't come off as forced, and there's no fart jokes, thank the Lord above. Like, these two are legit funny, and they're not like Bulk and Skull. They're not trying to be Bulk and Skull. They're just their own unique, separate thing. And that's what I really like about them. They work really well as comedic relief, and in the scenes they're in, I can't help but laugh. Like, the first few episodes, they can be a little bit cringy, but it gets better as it goes on. Like, I like Jane and Jay Borg. They're good comedic relief. Then there's Carlos, played by Blair Strang. He's the deputy of the town, I believe it is. It was either the deputy or the ranger of the town. Like, park ranger, you know what I mean. And he's related to Javi and Izzy. So, yeah, he's fine. He doesn't do a whole lot. He's fine. Then there's Lily, played by Sarah Dalton. Annie, played by Benny Joy Smith. Adrian, played by Max Crane. Fern, played by Jacqueline Joe? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Then we have Blair, played by Robbie Evison. And Rena, played by Saray De Silva. Or is it Saray De Silva? I don't know. So yeah, a pretty big supporting cast here. And then that continues on to our villains, which is also a pretty big list, including the return of another legacy villain. Don't worry, it's not as cringy as you think it would be. So for the main villains, we have Tarek, the Void Knight, or Void King, depending on the season, played by Jared Turner. And then we have Santora, Void Queen, who spends most of Season 1 in a cryogenic chamber, kind of like Mr. Freeze's wife in Batman. And then in the second season, she just becomes a full-on villain. Like, she is so over-the-top evil. Played by... I'm gonna butcher this really badly. Siobhan Marshall? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Then we have the comedic relief villain of the group with Mucus, played by Torum Henge. She's fine. Like, I know we had to have that token comic relief on both sides for Rangers and villains, but I don't know, Mucus just never really got me as one of the best ones. Like, she can be funny. There are times she can be funny, and sometimes with her body language and over-the-top movements, she does make me smile a little bit, but for one, calling her Mucus was just gross. No, that's one step too far. And most of the time in the episodes, she barely does anything. Like, she's just there to be there most of the time, so she's just fine. Then we have Boom Tower, voiced by Mark Mitchison. Yeah, he's back again. Slither, voiced by Campbell Cooley. He's back again. Wreckmate, voiced by John Lee. And Null Eye, voiced by Steve McCleary. And then we have the Henchman. Yeah, get it? Henchman. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I know, not funny. Okay, what do these guys look like again? Please tell me they're at least better than the Beast Morphers. Because, man, I hated the Beast Morpher foot soldier designs. They're better than the Beast Morpher ones, but they're not great. They're like mechanical knight thing. I don't know. They look weird. They are goofy and bizarre even by Power Ranger standards. So, yeah. That one, they're just okay. And then we have our legacy villain that returns. That, literally, this wasn't leaked beforehand or announced beforehand. This came flat out of nowhere. Yes, it got leaked online, unfortunately, because some people just can't keep their friggin' mouths shut. But thankfully, I wasn't spoiled by this twist, and when I saw it, my jaw was on the floor. Lord Zed is back. Yes, the Lord Zed. And unfortunately, since Robert Axelrod sadly passed away before this season even was in production, they had to get someone new to voice him. Now, usually with recastings like that, you get a lot of people angry, but I honestly think Andrew Lang did a pretty good job in this role. In his first appearance, he does seem a bit like, generic cliche, gravelly villain voice. But as the season goes on, he does tone it down a little bit, where he stops trying to be, the gravelly voice and actually tries to replicate more Lord Zed's actual voice. And it works. I actually think Lord Zed's pretty effective in this show. And from what I've heard, he's going to be the main villain of Cosmic Fury, so yeah, I like Lord Zed. Who doesn't like Lord Zed? I think they did a pretty good job bringing him back. Then there's Lothorn. Yes, not Lothor. Lothorn, there's a difference. Voiced by Julian Wilson. Scrozzle from Dino Charge comes back, played by Campbell Cooley again. Then there's Scissorai, played by Adrian Smith. And then Boom Blaster, voiced by Mark Mitchison again. My guess is Boom Tower later becomes Boom Blaster, or the two are related. I don't know. Now for the short sections of this, which is the weapons, battleizer, vehicles, Zords, and Megazords. Starting off with the weapons, the Dino Dagger is the main weapon, and the Dino Blade thing, I don't even know if it has a specific name, it's probably just Dino Sword or something. But, yeah, they're fine. Then we have the Dino Master Saber for the red, black, and gold rangers. Then there's the Dino Fury keys. Trust me, it's way better utilized here than it was in Super Mega Lies. Then Gold Ranger gets the Gold Fury Blade Blaster, which has a blade and a sword mode, which is cool. And then Red Ranger has Dino Chucks. Yeah, a Red Ranger has nunchucks again, first time since Jungle Fury. That's nice to see. Then for the battleizer, we have the Dino Knights. What does this look like? I feel like I should know what this looks like, but I've honestly forgot. Because so many of these get just mixed up in my head. Let me see what this looks like. Give me just a sec. Try and find a good picture. If it wants to friggin' work. Okay, I can't find a good picture, so we're just gonna use the one with the cape. There we go. It's okay. It definitely fits the knight aesthetic, but I don't know. It seems a bit bulky and flashy. Like, even for Power Rangers, it just looks a bit strange, and nowhere near the awesomeness of the Shogun mode from Samurai. Yes, I'm gonna keep praising that mode because it's amazing, and it should have been more than just a Megazord cockpit form. Like, come on. Then vehicles of the season, we only get one, and it's exclusive to the Red Ranger, Dino Fury Cycle. Yeah, unfortunately, this one has the same problem as Beast Morphers, where it has such a bias towards the Red Ranger that the rest of the Rangers don't get their own individual weapons. That still bugs me a lot, because, that was a staple of Power Rangers up to Beast Morphers. They all had specific weapons, as well as universal weapons that they shared all between them. And then all those specific weapons all combined together to make the ultimate weapon. That's not here anymore, and that is a huge bummer. So, yeah, that's something in Cosmic Fury that they need to fix. Then moving on to the Zords, we have T-Rex Champion, Tri-Saber Blade, Ankylo Hammer, Tiger Claw, Stego Spike, Demetro Blazing, Mozo Razor, Terra Freeze, Pacha, and Baby Pacha. And then for the Megazords, not counting the ults, yeah, there's actual ults this time. Again, improvement on Beast Morphers. We have the Dino Fury Megazord, the Dino Fury Warrior Formation, the Electrozords, Fighting Mode, and Terra Freeze has a Battle Mode. That's pretty much it. not counting the evil Megazord we get in pretty much every season. And as for that Megazord, let me try and find a good picture so I can try to remember what it looked like. Dino Fury Megazord. I like it. Looks a bit Lego-y with the circles on the shoulders, but I like it. I actually really like this. Like, yes, there is a huge focus on red, but you still get the hints of blue and pink, and it kind of feels a lot like the Dino Charge Megazord in a way, having red, blue, and pink as the main formation. And I really like the helmet. Like, the way that they were able to replicate the helmet design from the actual Rangers on the thing. Not to mention, it has that fin thing on the top, too. You know, sometimes like how in medieval times, knights would have some kind of extra detail on the top of their helmet to show their rank. Like, that is a really nice detail. And then drills for the shoulders, and a weird blade thing on the one arm, and then the other arm's kind of just bland. Whatever. I like this Megazord. It's simple, but it looks pretty cool. Though, like I said, because of all the circles, it looks very Lego-y. I can't be the only one getting that vibe. Like, it's very Lego-y. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's talk about the designs of the suits. I actually love these suits. Like, they are that perfect blend between medieval knights and dinos. Like, yes, you're back to spandex again, and I know that can bug some people, but think about it. Spandex is, like, the most universally well-known material for a suit in Power Rangers. Some people say it's a step back from the Beast Morpher suits. I disagree. I think it's a step forward because the spandex is iconic with the Power Rangers, even in the crap seasons. So, going back to spandex makes a lot of sense. And the helmets, wow, the helmets are so friggin' cool. Like, not only do you have all those dino aspects on the helmet, but you also have these lines going on the visor like, you know, like a knight's helmet, knight's armor. It looks pretty sick, if you ask me. One thing I will kind of complain a little bit about is how one side is their color and the other side of their torso and their arm is gray. Like, that is a bit strange, but you know what? It's a unique design aesthetic, and I can give it points for being unique. Like, you wouldn't see a design like that in any of the other past seasons. Like, when you see it, it's instantly recognizable as Dino Fury, especially when you see those helmets. So yeah, it's mainly because of the helmets, but I actually really love the Dino Fury suits. They're not as iconic or incredible as the Dino Thunder suits, absolutely not, but I feel like they're on the same level as the Dino Charge suits. They're unique and interesting, and also just look really friggin' cool. Like, fully embracing the Dino theme while also adding something extra. With Dino Charge, it was adding that extra Dino theme by having the darker colored sleeves with the scale design. With Dino Fury, it's adding a medieval knight's flavor to it, with the helmet looking like a knight's visor. Like, that's really cool. And then the Morpher is fine. We're back to keys again, which is a bit annoying, but I kind of like how they swing like the bottom jaw of the Morpher this way to kind of look like you're putting the knight's helmet on the dinosaur. That's actually pretty neat, but aside from that, it's a pretty bland Morpher. It's fine. And for the season overall, I love this season, man. Like, it took all the problems I had with Beast Morphers, chucked them out the window, and pretty much improved it in every single way. I think this cast is better. I think the Ranger suits are better. It's just overall a lot better. And then you add in Lord Zed, who has done really well. Like, it's a well-done villain return. It's not, you know, shoehorned in like we've seen in the past, but it's just such a great season. Like, this has been This is the one season that's really highly rated by the Ranger community that I can get behind. I did not like Beast Morphers nearly as much as other people. I thought it was very confusing, convoluted, flawed, and that crappy ending almost ruins it. But here, we finally have a season that's great all throughout. Yes, you don't have a crossover season, but you can chalk that up to the fact that this was made during COVID, so they had to follow those regulations while in production. So you can kind of understand why there isn't a crossover season. And like I said, there is a good possibility that they will fix that when they get to Cosmic Fury. But for what it is, it feels like a great back to basics, return to form season. It's a great, excellent season. And if it weren't for the fact that they ran into the problem of having an over bias on the Red Ranger again, while the other Rangers get no Ranger specific weapons, like if they fixed that, this would be a 10 season. I know it seems like a little thing to complain about, but that was literally in the Power Rangers DNA from the start. And starting with Beast Morphers, they just chucked it out the window. That's the one thing I wish they kept, but whatever. Maybe I'm just being a rambling old man who's out of time. I don't know, but all I know is Dino Fury is a fantastic season, and if you haven't seen it yet, absolutely check it out. Like, it is so much better than Beast Morphers, like, it's not even funny. It is a fantastic season of Power Rangers, and you absolutely gotta check it out. And here's hoping that Cosmic Fury is even better when it finally drops either later this year or early 2024. Whichever date it decides on, but yeah. And already Cosmic Fury looks really good, so yeah, I love Dino Fury. It's another strong Dino-themed season of the show, and it's definitely one of the best in a long while. Final verdict for Power Rangers Dino Fury is a high 9 out of 10. If they could just fix that one problem of stop giving the Red Ranger such an obvious bias and giving the other Rangers no specific weapons, if they took that problem out, this would be a 10 season, because everything else, from the story to the writing to the characters to the acting to the designs to the fights, it's all done so well. Like, this truly feels like a back to form season. Like with Beast Morphers, Hasbro was trying to find their footing. Dino Fury, they fully embrace it. They fully find their footing, and they finally realize what they need to do. For the most part, it is a strong season of Power Rangers, and one I can definitely recommend you guys absolutely go check out on Netflix. It is an absolute ton of fun, and you're going to have a great time. Here's hoping that we get a DVD release soon, because right now it's still just exclusive to Netflix, which I'm hoping gets fixed, but we'll see. But that's going to do it for Morphin May. All we have left now is a tier list ranking, but this is the last season review. I will review Cosmic Fury when it's out in its entirety and I actually watch it, but until then, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching all of these reviews. Like, this was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun to do, and I'm glad I got to talk about something not relating to sponges or hedgehogs or Super Saiyans for once on this channel. Like, I love those three things, but sometimes I just need something new. This was the something new that I needed, and I really enjoyed it, so yeah. And it was also pretty interesting reading some of your comments and seeing how you guys feel about some of these Ranger seasons. Like, some of you love Megaforce, some of you really like Operation Overdrive, and you know what? That's okay. Just because I don't like a certain season doesn't mean that you don't have to. This was mainly just to share my thoughts and my opinions on Power Rangers season by season without trying to sway or persuade you in any way. It was more just a sharing of information. And while it was a lot of work and I'm glad to be done, it was also a lot of fun. And I am actually really excited to see where it goes with Cosmic Fury. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later for the Power Rangers season tier list ranking. The grand finale of all of this. So, till then, thanks for watching. I'm Jack Small of Animation Station, and I'll see you next time.